What's happening, Tech Timers? This is Andre of Andre's Tech Time and Product Reviews, where I review cool tech and everyday products that will make your lives just a little bit easier. And today I'm coming to you live with no jive as I show you how to clone and upgrade your internal hard drive on your mini PC with a brand new SSD. Can you dig it? All right, Tech Timers, so before I get down to the nitty gritty, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell all below. And please share if you care. Now, this is what's going on today. This is my Teresa mini PC. I did a full review on this not very long ago. I was kind of harsh in that review because I did have some problems with it in the beginning, but I did get all of that worked out. And at this point, I do recommend it for light computing, which is exactly what I got it for. Light computing and watching, videos and what have you. So if you want to see the review on this, just go ahead and click on that link above and also check the description below. Now, this comes with an internal SSD of 64 gigabytes. It has Windows 10 installed on it. One thing I forgot about Windows is that it updates often, and the updates are huge. So I'm running out of space on the SSD. So this does have an additional bay to install a hard drive. This is a SATA drive. I have all of the screws removed for a reason. This is a 60 gigger. I run Chrome OS on this because I love Chrome OS. It's lightweight and it runs great on this computer. So what I want to do is run Windows on this and put this in here and run Chrome on the built-in hard drive. So y'all got that, right? Okay, so let's get this out of the way. This is an inland SSD, 2.5 inch, SATA 3. There you go, you can see all of that. Let's get it open so I can show you all what it looks like. Tech Time tool to the rescue. And yowza! Good job, Tech Time tool, as always. Let's get this out. That's what we've got. There you go. That's the new hard drive I'm going to install Windows on. Well, actually clone Windows to this hard drive. There you go. Zoom in a little bit. That's it. I mean, this thing is super light. So I'm gonna get this computer reconnected. We're gonna get all set up, but y'all know what's next? The specs. You dig? Okay, Tech Timers, so here are the specs for the Inland Premium 256 gigabyte SSD. The capacity, of course, is 256 gigs. The dimensions are 3.94 by 2.75 by 0.28 inches. Speeds, SATA 3.0 interface at 6 gigs per second. Read-write up to 510 megabytes per second and 450 megabytes per second, respectively. And it has a random read-write at 4K up to 16K and 67 IOPS, respectively. Don't worry about all of that. It just means it's fast. The SSD type, the internals, so 3D QLC NAND flash. It has a notebook form factor, so it's 2.5 inch, 7 millimeters, and the life expectancy is 1,500,000 hours. Okay, now that we've got this out of the way, let's get down to the get down. Okay, Tech Timers, so I've got the computer plugged up, connected, and I've got a backup drive, 640 gigs. So first things first. Let's take a look and see just how much space is being used right now. I'll go into settings. I'm going to go into system, storage, and you can see I'm using 58.2 gigs. This is a 64 gig hard drive. So I don't have much more room for adding applications. I don't really add a lot of applications anyway, but still, you know, I could definitely, let me go in here. I believe it's in here. Let me go back into that. Now I could connect, for instance, that hard drive right there that I've got connected, and I could choose where to save new applications, and then so that would be the D drive, which is connected to the computer. And I just don't want to do that. I would rather have the smaller operating system on the smaller drive. So let's get out of that. And what I'm going to do now is go to control panel, and I'm doing this with one hand because I'm holding the mouse with the other. So we'll go into control panel. I'm going to go into backup and restore Windows 7, create a system image, and it's going to save it to the D drive, and it's showing that it's not formatted, so I'm going to have to go ahead and format that. As NTFS. Let's get that started. And I'll be back after it's done formatting. Create a system image. And there's my drive. Confirm your backup settings. That's what's going to take place, and start backup. So this will take some time, and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, Tech Timers, so that only took about 20 minutes to complete. And now when it's done, it's going to ask, do you want to create a system repair disk? And of course we want yes. So what I'm going to do is I've got a USB. It's 32 gigs. You don't need 32 gigs. This is just what I have laying around. I think you could use a minimum of 8 or 16, probably 16. So I'm going to connect this to the computer. Just go ahead and plug that in. And I apologize for any humming that you may hear in the background because I'm charging up a big backup battery, Duracell battery generator type thing. And I also apologize for my allergies. I don't know why they've been kicking my butt this year. So let's go ahead and click on yes. The system repair disk could not be created. Let's try that again. Okay, Tech Timers, so if you run into that same issue where it's not going to create a system repair disk, not a problem at all. When you purchase your PC, one of the first things you want to do is make a recovery disk. And those tools that you need for this process are actually part of the recovery disk. So I actually have, I had made this, from day one. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So just right here, let's do this. Let's click on the window. Then we're going to type create a recovery drive. There it is. We'll click on that. And then you're going to follow instructions here. I'm not going to go through it. Just click on next. Make sure you connect your blank USB to your computer, and just follow the prompts all the way through. It will back up to your USB. Make sure it's at least a minimum of 8 gigs. Probably want 16 or more. And this one, I believe, is a 16 gig. Yeah, this one's a 16 gig, if y'all can see that. And for some reason, when making the recovery drive, it takes like forever. So, go put on a TV show, have a cup of tea, read a book. When it's done, proceed. I'm going to shut down the computer, and I'm going to go ahead and install the new drive. I'll be right back. I installed the new hard drive into the computer. I powered it up, and on my computer, on my keyboard, I press the F2 key until the BIOS comes up. So when that comes up, load previous values, no. And I'm going to go across to boot. And what I'm looking for is that. That's the 256 gigabyte hard drive, SSD that I just put in. So now I'm going to connect the external back to the computer. And I'm going to put the USB back in, because what I want to do now is boot into the USB. So I'll do that in just a moment. I'll be right back. So I rebooted the computer. There's my USB. I'm going to go down to Windows Boot Manager. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to choose my USB drive. Then I'll go across, save and exit, and then yes. And we'll wait for it to come back up. Okay, so it took us a little while to get here, but here we go. So I'm going to choose the US keyboard. I'm going to go into troubleshoot, and then I'm going to go into system image recovery. I'm going to choose Windows 10, and it's asking me to select the image backup. Okay, let's click on next. Format and repair. Let's click on next. And click on yes. Okay, this should take a while. So when it's done, I'll be back with you. Okay, Tech Timers. So for me, it didn't take very long. It only took about 20 minutes. And that's because I do not have a lot of gigs here. It was less than 53 gigs, I believe. So if you have more, if you have hundreds or even terabytes of gigs, it could take hours and hours and hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little window, and I'm going to go into settings. When that comes up, let's go into system, and I'm going to go into storage. And once again, I'm sorry, it's 58.2 gigs, so less than 59 gigs. So that's what it was before. And keep in mind, it's because this is actually cloning it. It's making an exact duplicate of your hard drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the little search field at the bottom of the screen, just right there. I'm going to type in disk management. And disk management, create and format hard disk partitions. Let's go there. And so let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit so y'all can see this. Okay, so disk 0, 238.46 gigabytes, unallocated. There's my Windows partition, it's using up 58.23. And then there's my external hard drive that I got the image from. So I can merge these two. This is actually occupying space on the new hard drive, on the new SSD. I can merge these two, and I think that would kind of involve erasing windows. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to click on the unallocated, new simple volume. Let's see, click on next, and next, and it's going to create an E drive. Next, format this volume with the following settings, NTFS. Let's click on next, and then finish. So what it's doing is it's making that drive active so that these two will share the brand new SSD that I just put in the computer. Shouldn't take very long. Okay, so there it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go here. Let's go to settings. I'll go into system, storage, change where new content is saved so as not to fill up this. New apps will save to new volume E. Apply. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change absolutely everything to E so that nothing will fill up the hard drive. Let me just move over here. Volume E, apply. And then once all of this is done, let me see, okay, apply. Once all of this is done, then when I install Chrome, it will automatically install on the built-in 64 gigabyte SSD. Okay, let's do that. Okay, and that is it. So now, once again, Windows is here. This is the new SSD, and that's the new SSD. When I install new applications, which I probably won't install very many, they're going to install on the 238.46 gigabit volume, which is E. Okay, as you can see, that was pretty easy. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Okay, Tech Timers, so everything seems to be working just fine here. And one of the things I want to mention is when the process completes running, installing to your SSD or whichever hard drive you intend to use, it's going to automatically boot into Windows. That's why when it was completed, that's why I was on the Windows desktop. Another thing I want to mention is, remember my hard drive here? Make sure that your backup drive is larger than your SSD or whichever type of hard drive that you're installing into your computer. If the drive is smaller than the drive you're going to put in the computer, it won't work. You'll have to use a different tool. But for this Microsoft process, for their tool, your backup hard drive needs to be larger than the hard drive that you're going to install in the computer. So as you see, it didn't take very long. It's just a few steps. Of course, it all depends on how many gigs you're going to be cloning. I only had, 58.2, so not a lot. It took 20 minutes to do that. The entire process took me less than an hour, definitely less than an hour, maybe 45, 50 minutes or so. So very easy to do if that's something you want to do. If you like something like this, the Inland Premium 256 SSD, you can actually purchase it at the link down below in the description. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Please support the channel by purchasing items in this video with the link below. So that concludes my install. This was a Tech Time tip. I showed you how to clone Windows 10 and upgrade your mini PC's SSD to a larger drive. So thanks for hanging out here with me on Andre's Tech Time and Product Reviews. Enough said. Keep on trucking, and I will catch you on the flip side in my next video. Now, can you dig that?